My name is Fabian Enssle. I'm working at GAF AG in Germany. We are based in Munich. So my role in GDA Forest is actually I'm the consortium lead, the project lead of the GDA Forest management activity. A bit of background of myself. So I'm a forester and have a strong experience in remote sensing. So for many years, I'm now 8 years with GAF AG, and our expertise is actually in utilizing remote sensing data for any kind of applications. The great benefit of using Earth observation data for forest monitoring is that you can actually gather information from remote areas, and you can actually access countrywide coverages quite easily, and you have a rapid update frequency. So compared to traditional forest inventories, the good thing is that you have timely information and actionable information, and that is kind of increasing your decision frequency, and as well acting on the ground is much easier. There's a multiple range of applications you can do with Earth observation concerning forestry. So it depends a bit on the sensor. Using, for example, Copernicus Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2 data, you can do deforestation tracking. You can identify, for example, small-scale mining activities. That's important. You can as well see logging roads and small extractions. You can as well estimate biomass. So for the biomass, there are some specific sensors and upcoming missions as well, like the biomass mission from ESA. And as well, with Earth observation data, you can do actually 3D models of forest stands, and that helps as well then in biomass estimation. Working with remote sensing data usually requires some ground truthing or field data. There comes then the national forest inventories into place, where you actually couple the information from space with the information from ground. And the thing is, with the ground information or the LiDAR observations, you always have kind of smaller plots. And for wall-to-wall mapping, you can then use satellite data to expand your information across the full country. The problem with the access actually is that it takes a lot of time, logistics to go to these remote areas. And at the same time, these remote areas are usually of high biomass and high biodiversity. So these are areas where humans do not have a high impact. Going there and doing field measurements is really expensive and takes quite a long time. And their remote sensing can help actually to gather the information without going there and without putting people at risk. And from the socioeconomic perspective, there's of course a lot of pressure on forests. It's on the one hand side the agricultural expansion, so smallholders, of course, they need to grow their food, they want to do some earnings. This causes then pressure on the surrounding forests, and that's why we as well see that, let's say, in the surroundings of human settlements, we have a lot of forest degradation, and the further you go from human impact, the more untouched the forests are. On the one hand, it raises the knowledge what can be done with satellite data in the thematic theme, like in forest. It's a bit of bringing Earth observation into developing countries and development assistance work. On the other hand, we do as well capacity building workshops in the countries to help ministries, for example, to do their forest inventories by themselves. And there, of course, is a bit kind of data gap. So in Europe, we have the Copernicus program. There's a lot of freely available satellite data, but some countries lacking internet connection to really utilize this data, and there, for example, some cloud processing can be offered. Additional beneficiaries of the GDA beside the IFIs can of course be local counterparts, ministries, forest practitioners on the ground. As well, this data can be used for kind of capacity building in the country. So starting right at university scale or even at school, learning how to use the geo information to provide some benefit for the daily life. I think the knowledge on the value of forests is quite well known at the moment and will even be more known in the future. Of course, it's always a game of compensation, because if you don't use the forest as agricultural land, then you miss a bit of income, and somehow this income needs to be generated then by other ways. And I think this is the way forward. And now the EUDR from the European Commission tries then to avoid new deforestations after 2020. I think that's a good way to go. At the end, Yeah, we need really multiple puzzle pieces to do then the real picture of protecting forests.